All right, coming at you around 5 after top of the hour. Ball knowers on WIUR alongside Luke Dolan.
How's everyone going?
I am Cameron Woolley. So we've got a fair bit to talk about today. You know, spring training still in full swing right now. No pun intended. Yankees and Mets both doing their thing. Yankees have had multiple injury scares. But thankfully for them, at least the worst has been avoided.
I wouldn't get too comfortable with.
I said the worst has been avoided. Garrett Cole went from being out for 2 years to being out for
super close.
to being out hopefully at most 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, 1 month, as I would know as a Mets fan, 1 month can turn into a whole season.
Yeah, and I know as a Yankee fan, 1 week can turn into a whole season. So Yankees not totally completely out of the woods yet, but compared to their recent injury scares, the recent Judge and Cole news is rather refreshing, to say the least, especially with all the hype going into this season about, oh man, Soto, oh my God, there's Soto and Judge hitting back to back. Oh, Rizzo, Glaber, oh, everyone's all juiced
and
up.
Giancarlo Stanton's is Giancarlo Stanton's doing his thing too, hitting bombs?
He looked amazing on Wednesday night.
Yeah, he hit 2 home runs, didn't he?
3.
Oh, wow.
When we walked out of class, he hit 2.
And then that's what I was remembering from last night when we were leaving class. Just putting my phone on the charger, it's almost dead.
I gotta get one of those portable chargers.
I got this from orientation when I was at orientation leader this summer for free.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's worked out pretty well. But speaking of the Mets, they made a move last night I'm very happy about. They signed JD Martinez to a 1-year deal. I think it's pending physical still, to a $12 million. Though he's only getting paid $4.5 million this year. So to avoid going to luxury tax, the rest of that money is getting deferred between 2034 and 2038, like $1.5 million for 4 years. In the future,
specifically 2034 and 2030.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, hey, you want to talk about an agent doing a great job
or doing a bad job?
I mean, no. That agent, no, that's a good job by an agent, because you set your client up for 1 year, and then down the line, God forbid, if something bad were to happen financially, he has a little bit of an annuity tacked on, in 10 years, so he gets a little bit of cash there. Yes. So I want to say, unlike Scott Boras, he is doing a great job.
I mean,
with his clients.
He was looking for $18 million a year or something like that. He didn't get that.
I mean, well, it's the thing. It is not a buyer's market in free agency.
Oh no! Year. I mean, freaking Blake Snell just signed a 2-year deal for $62 million.
He left so much money on the table from the Yankees. The Yankees offered $6 for
Cody Bellinger left a lot of money off the table. Matt Chapman, I think, left money on the table too. And you know what all those guys have in common? Scott Boras is their agent.
Yeah, I feel like this offseason made a lot of people, myself included, realize that Scott Boras is really not a good agent for anybody.
Pack watch.
He's not a good agent for the teams he works with, because he negotiates in bad faith with them all the time.
Oh yeah, that's his MO.
Now the thing is with Boras, you can maybe say, oh, it's an agent's job to be stingy, and that's what I used to think. But then
it's part of their job.
Then he's doing a horrible job with his clients too, because he is being so greedy and demanding so much that all the owners are sort of just like, listen, we're not dealing with you.
He is out of touch with the current market situation. He is.
No, he can get away with it when one of his clients is, say, Garrett Cole, coming off of one of the greatest pitching seasons in modern MLB history.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can demand a lot of money. And you'll have someone like Hal Steinbrenner say, okay, fine.
We'll do it.
We'll do it.
Or Steve Cohen, yeah. Someone like...
a client like Juan Soto, who's been circling all around the New York circle, Yankee fans for, having him for this year, and Met fans for thinking that they're going to get him next year.
We'll see. We'll see.
And the thing with Boris, like, he can demand the moon. Like, he can demand blank checks from owners when you have clients like that.
Yeah.
You can demand the type of money that you're demanding when you have a client. I'm going to call them Cooperstown clients.
Cooperstown clients.
Guys who are so good and so overwhelmingly impactful and talented that you can sort of strong arm owners into getting what you want. Like, no matter what you're asking for, you're going to get what you want, because if an owner is willing to pay, like, if a team really wants a generational talent like that, they're going to get him no matter the cost. They'll put up with it. They'll be like, okay, fine, Scott, you're a jerk, but we're okay with dealing with you if it means we get your client on our team to help us win a championship.
Yeah. I just want to dive into JD Martinez's numbers, though, to show you why it's a little baffling to me how this guy remained unsigned for as long as he was. He's a pure DH. He's going to be 36 this year.
Yeah, a little on the older side.
But last year, 117 hits, 33 home runs, 103 RBIs, batting average to 271, on base of 321, slugging of 572.
Wow.
An OPS, which means an OPS of 893, and an OPS plus of 134.
WRC plus, do you have that up?
I don't have the baseball reference page right now.
Well, that's Fangraphs.
Fangraphs. Yeah.
But still a very impressive stat line for JD Martinez and a very good get for the Mets. I mean, even though
for 1 year, I just gotta ask, what are these clubs that are going all in doing, leaving this guy like unsigned?
Well, the Yankees have a Giancarlo Stanton sized blood clot in their lineup.
I guess, yeah, but like,
dude, if the Yankees didn't have Giancarlo Stanton, he would have been a Yankee.
Like the
or JD Martinez would have been a Yankee if Giancarlo Stanton wasn't.
Like, what about like the Braves or the Dodgers and whatnot? I mean, they got Teoscar Hernandez, but still, JD Martinez still was on their team last year.
The Dodgers also got Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, for $2 million that he didn't. That he didn't bet on, I guess. It's
Oh yeah, that's right. Shohei Ohtani. I haven't read into it too much yet.
I want to talk
debrief me.
I want to talk about it a bit later. I still don't really know about the situation.
No, we're on baseball right now. You can talk about now. I can't stop thinking about the Shohei Ohtani.
I just want to talk about
gambling thing. Come on,
but JD Martinez had a 135 WRC plus last year.
That's a very good mark.
It's a very good part for a guy you're only signing for 1 year. You're getting actual protection for Pete Alonso in the lineup and an actual DH, which the Mets have not had since they allowed the DH to be a thing in the National League, which was supposed to help them. It has hindered them more than not. Like the best thing they can do was like 2021 JD Davis for a bit, and then a post trade deadline 2022 Daniel Vogelbach. That was the best that they could do for this entire 3-year stretch. So JD Martinez, sorry, is a breath of fresh air to say the least. And I was hoping Mark Vientos could maybe be that guy, but it seems like they want to. He's had his moments. He's been hitting home runs, but he has like 18 strikeouts to 2 walks this spring.
Ooh.
But he has like 4 or 5 home runs still this year, so he's got pop. But it's going to be interesting what they do with him.
So he's a 2 true outcome hitter.
Kind of, yes.
It's either home run or strikeout
right now, yeah. But I think they probably put maybe a bit too much pressure on him, probably. But we'll see. I don't want
your brother put DJ Stewart.
DJ Stewart, I love DJ Stewart. He's been struggling this spring. He only has like 1 home run this year. And G-Man Joy, who they brought in, is like got off hot now. He's been mid, very like underwhelming. And Luke Voigt only has like 3 hits in spring.
Oh my God, that's right, Luke Voigt.
So the supplemental pieces have been not so good, which is why JD Davis. I keep saying JD Davis. I like JD Davis, but JD Martinez has been a welcome addition to this Mets roster that's needed. Now they kind of look like probably a good playoff contender with the lineup they're about to put out, like Nimmo, McNeil, Lindor, Alonso, Martinez, and then Francisco Alvarez, and hopefully a healthy Starling Marte, who's also been kind of struggling in the spring, but hopefully they can get something out of him. And then Brett Beatty, who can hopefully break out, and then Harrison Bader's batting in ninth.
I forgot about him.
That's not a bad lineup.
You're gonna love him. You're gonna love Harrison Bader.
He's gonna play.
I really liked him when he was a Yankee.
He's a Bronxville guy.
Oh yeah, Westchester.
You know, he hit lefties pretty well last year.
Oh yeah. That's his thing.
He's good in the outfield.
He's a absurdly good center fielder.
Pitching is still a little bit of a wild card though for the Mets, I would say, with Kodai Senga being out. But Luis Severino's looked good. Jose Quintana was also announced as the opening day starter for the Mets. I think deservingly so, I would say. But the Tyler McGill has also got a spot in the rotation. I am a big Tyler McGill apologist. I want him to succeed badly. I want Big Drip to have a great season this year. Big Drip's a nickname that Karen Maven gave to him.
Oh, Cameron
Maven, who also
dude 2019 Yankees legend Cameron Maven.
I
just want to say straight up, looking at the 2019 Yankees like Fangraphs numbers, they had like 14 guys who had positive WRC pluses.
Karen Maben has like the little streak for longest at bat without a hit with the Mets, or the start of Mets career. He went over 22 or something like that. And when he finally got like a bunt, like a squib hit or bunt hit or something like that, it was
New York Mets everywhere.
He got a hit and everyone was jubilation. It was jubilation for everyone.
Oh, that dugout. Oh,
everyone, the fans too. Like I got it. Everyone was happy. Everyone was happy for Cameron Maven.
I miss Cameron Maven.
Yeah,
he was really good on Yes.
I think he's on like MLB Network now or something like that, or TBS broadcast of for baseball.
I mean, whatever he's doing, he's having a successful broadcasting career.
All right, I guess we could talk a bit about Shohei Ohtani.
Yes. Debrief me on this.
So, from what I understand, his interpreter, the story is like right now is that his interpreter had gambling debts, and he wired money because he wired like $4 million to like the bookies.
Oh man!
And apparently, the story or part of the story is that like Ohtani was helping him pay his debts, but now
he's got the money.
He's got the money, but now they're saying, "Oh no, he didn't know that's what he was doing it with," which is an elaborate cover-up, I think, of what actually is going on.
Plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability. Even though they are best friends, they fired him. They fired the interpreter. And also gambling is still illegal in California.
Oh man,
so it will be quite interesting to see what happens there. I still don't really know what happened.
Vegas is not too far from LA.
Although
California is a big chunk of land.
Yes, there are more people who live in California than in Canada.
Dude, California, if it seceded, it would be the 7th largest economy in the world.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Granted, they would have to import
everything. Sports gambling is illegal in California.
Ouch! And they probably have like BetMGM, DraftKings, and FanDuel ads shoved in their faces all the time. That's the weird thing
with sports gambling.
With sports gambling and all these like partnerships that leagues have with these sports books. It's like they promote it. Gambling, sports betting, especially. This is an opinion I've held for a while. Mm-hmm. Sports betting is like they successfully romanticized gambling addiction.
Somehow, even though the sports league for years wanted to distance themselves from
Yeah, they
it.
wanted nothing to do with sports books. And then all of a sudden, there are billions of dollars. Like, do you see these deals that they're signing? FanDuel, BetMGM, Caesars. I mean, so many. There are so many. I can't even name. I mean, Barstool, they have their own sports book. Even like small little niche media companies are starting their own sports books.
Yep. Like, you know what I hate about this though?
Because there's so much money in it.
I hate. I
mean, 15 like parlays. I mean, you see the.
But God forbid a player in their league bets now.
Yeah, they'll get suspended for 2 years. It's like they still think that like that's the odd thing.
Pete Rose is still not in the Hall of Fame, and they're shamelessly promoting gambling. And he's still suspended.
Think, why not use him in the ads?
At that point, yeah.
Use him in the ads.
Put him in the Hall of Fame.
I just say, like, imagine, like, they reconcile. Pete Rose gets into the Hall of Fame. The next thing you know, you see a FanDuel commercial. It's like Pete Rose says, I know a thing or two about betting on baseball games. Like, that would be hilarious. Come on, you're telling me you wouldn't love to watch that?
Apparently, like, baseball banned Willie Mays and Hank Aaron just for being greeters at the casinos.
But both those guys are in the Hall of Fame.
I know, but they banned them from being, or they banned them from doing that, from like being greeters at casinos. So it just tells you like the amount of shift that's happened like the last like 100 years or 50 years.
Well, is there really that much of a shift? They'll get suspended like anytime. Like a player puts a penny on a horse race and they get banned from the game immediately.
The sign in the clubhouse says no gambling. This clubhouse is sponsored by BetMGM.
Oh man.
But it's just
like there's just so much hypocrisy. Like I'm shocked I haven't addressed it publicly yet because this is a very strong opinion I have. Just the hypocrisy that these sports leagues have with sports betting.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, like they have a no-nonsense approach to gambling with their players while simultaneously like signing multi-billion-dollar partnerships with a new sports book every year. Because every year the NFL has a new partner.
MLB is like trying their best to like not have any other information leak out of what's going on with Ohtani.
Because Ohtani, that's the last person they want being involved in a scandal.
That is their golden goose for an entire continent.
Yeah, Asia.
All of Asia.
The Seoul series? That was in South Korea.
Yep.
And they packed the house for Ohtani.
Yep.
And Japan, forget Japan. Dude, they love like any major figure in Japanese baseball. Like when Matsui went to the Yankees. Oh my God, I heard stories. Like it was like Matsui was being treated like a Kardashian by the Japanese media. I mean, and I say this with all love, because Japan, if you're listening to this, you guys do baseball so much better than we do.
Oh yeah, I would say that.
Dude,
they won the World Baseball Classic.
Dude, I say this. Well, if we brought our best players, we would wipe the floor with every team except for possibly the Dominican Republic.
The Dominican Republic has a lot,
and that's impressive in its own right. I mean,
we still had guys like Mike Trout in the lineup, though. Too.
Yeah, we still, dude, a top U.S. lineup. You're forgetting Aaron Judge, who's arguably the best hitter on the planet. You're forgetting Garrett Cole, arguably the best pitcher on the planet.
Hopefully, healthy Jacob deGrom.
Like the healthy Jacob deGrom, also arguably the best pitcher on the planet. You are talking about the pitching. Okay, the fact that we even made the final with our starting rotation with
Wainwright,
Adam Wainwright, in my opinion, you ask me, the most overrated pitcher of the 21st century.
Oh yeah, I would say so.
Like, what? I mean, sure, he's accomplished. He's a compiler. He's pitched for 20 years.
If you're gonna talk bad about Wainwright, I'm all for it. But
I know you hate Adam. You hate Adam Wainwright because he did something to your team. I don't hate Adam Wainwright. I just think that the coverage and love that the mainstream media gives to him and everybody on that Cardinals team just drives me nuts. They're pixie dust merchants.
They are pixie dust.
Except for Albert Pujols. Albert Pujols was a bad man when he was in his prime.
They called him the machine for a reason.
I don't want any Yankee fans calling DJ LeMahieu the machine.
Yeah, that is rightfully Albert Pujols' name. Apparently, the Premier League in England has told like their clubs no more gambling sponsorships after their current deals are done. So,
oh yeah.
So hopefully that seeps over West like most things do.
That's Europe that we're talking about.
I know.
They have a slightly different ethical standards when it comes to business dealings than over here in the States.
Oh yeah.
You throw large numbers around here, dude. You giving someone enough money for anything in this country, we'll do it.
Yep.
It's the culture that we've built.
Oh, you know what? Also, back to baseball and one the cap of like the Seoul series. Yoshinobu Yamamoto only lasted 1.1 inning in his MLB debut.
He got sauteed.
You'd think Ohtani and Yamamoto would have signed with the Mets with the headlines that have happened right now.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
But no, it's the Dodgers.
Oh, please, people are clowning the Dodgers. Plenty. The thing is with the Mets, it's inherently funny. I'm sorry, dude. That's your cross to bear.
That is the only thing. You would only think that would happen to the Mets, though. Now,
that would happen to the Mets.
Oh yeah, that would. But you know, it's happening to the Dodgers, and I'm happy about it.
I mean, oh, dude, if Ohtani and Yamamoto were Mets, and if the Ohtani gambling stuff came out on top of Yamamoto having a horrible start, oh my god. That would have been I would have just spent this entire time laughing while you were just yelling. You would have done all the talking.
I mean, I probably
and that's saying a lot for this show.
I don't know how much yelling I would have done because reality is like much more miserable than the escape. No, the escape is more miserable than reality. Oh, so yeah. I'm used to this.
But it would have been so funny because I know for months you'd be like, Ohtani, oh, we got Ohtani, we got Yamamoto, and then like this would come out.
And all this would come out. But yeah, I mean, I feel much better about the Mets now with having JD Martinez in our lineup. And the Yankees have hopefully avoided most of their injury woes. Hopefully.
They avoided the apocalypse. And the apocalypse was Garrett Cole. He got an MRI. We've around a couple weeks ago, it came out that Garrett Cole was getting an MRI on his right elbow, and then
that is not a good
Yankee fans were like, "Oh no!" We're thinking right elbow discomfort. That's like your starting quarterback getting an MRI on his knee. It's like that is the worst thing here. So Yankee fans spent 2 weeks with their hearts in their throat, and especially the Yankees when it comes to disclosing injuries. But they were actually more upfront about the Cole injury than they were about every other injury that they've had. Like with Severino, it went from being out 2 weeks to being out 2 years.
The most vague you could be about injury I've ever seen is with Jed Lowry.
Oh yeah.
The Mets said, "Oh yeah, he's alive. He's alive.
Yeah, he's alive.
He's around.
Alive. Don't know how alive he is, but
he does exist. Contrary to popular belief, he does exist.
He's breathing.
He is breathing. That is a phenomenon. That is
that was Wilponian.
That was okay. There is an episode I need to do with just going over some of the most oddest things that have ever happened, and it can just be a list of Mets things, and you would never see them performed anywhere else except maybe the Jets with Aaron Rodgers.
The Jets. I think the Jets are the only more miserable, hexed, cursed, stupid,
insane.
I will never get over the first time I heard that Sam Darnold got mono.
Yeah.
A middle school
Oh,
sickness.
you know who just hit a home run? Mark Vientos.
Oh, I gotta see
Oh,
what's
yeah, they're
going on.
playing- oh, yeah,
I
the
gotta
Yankees are
say, yeah,
playing.
there's a Yankee game
The Mets and
happening.
Yankees are playing each other today. That's right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. The Mets are lovable losers, while the Jets are just are
Losers.
jinxed,
The Jets are just losers.
Yeah, but
Luis Heel is pitching.
for who? The Yankees.
Yeah, that's a guy who's been intrigued because
Hey.
he got shelved for all of last year. So,
But it also sounds
and he's a flamethrower. He's probably going to come out of the bullpen.
You know who I'm like excited for the Mets? Christian Scott. I'm not sure if you've been like
Who's that?
one of the top pitching prospects they have, who has like emerged as this amazing young talent. And if you see like pitch, if you go to Pitching Ninja and see some of his stuff, it's amazing. I'm high on Christian Scott. I'm also high on some of the other pitching prospects that they have. Like
Every single
Don
time
Hamill.
but like a Pitching Ninja is just a compilation of Yankee lowlights. Like just especially last year. It's like, oh, look at this nasty curveball from what's his face, and from X pitcher, and it's just Giancarlo Stanton swinging at a pitch that like spiked in the grass in front of the dirt, like net didn't even make it to the dirt. It spiked in the grass, and Giancarlo Stanton just flailed at it.
I mean,
like, oh boy, really had him fooled there.
Javier Baez gets like the brunt of most of the criticism.
Dude, Javier, you want to talk about a horrible contract? Like, we complain about our teams dishing out horrible contracts all the time.
Javier Baez to the Tigers.
Oh my, dude, that was bad. And everybody, I didn't think that Javi Baez was all that at that point in his career. I will happily take the W on Javier Baez's contract being horrible.
And yeah, that's a thumbs down.
Yep, it's a big thumbs down.
Glad he's not on my team anymore.
He was a fun little Met.
He had a weird tenure with the Mets. It was exciting, but also very, very bad at the same time.
Oh yeah.
It was extreme on like high ends to a very extreme lows. It was very fascinating when all said and done. But yeah.
Oh my God. You know, I was talking about the Yankees being out of the woods with their injuries.
Oh no.
Anthony Rizzo got scratched from the Yankees lineup due to a quote tight lat. Do these guys do yoga? Dude, just stretch a little bit.
I swear that like
no, just do a little bit of this. Like do I don't know, swim.
You know,
lay off the weights. I say this so many times. Lay off the weights. Do some yoga for the love of God. It'll save your body. And I'm saying this as someone who only lifts weights when I go to the gym and does nothing else. But thing is, I'm not a professional baseball player. I'm a professional Mario Kart player. There's a difference.
There's a difference. We are not the same.
Yeah. I can work out and lift weights as much as I want because I don't play a sport that requires me to have my body be in a durable shape. I'll give Giancarlo Stanton credit for completely changing his body and changing his routine because he got hurt too much.
Right.
And Aaron Judge, I remember a couple of years ago, a headline came out about Aaron Judge doing yoga. He hasn't had a bad muscle injury since. The only injury he had was when he had that freak accident with that
toe.
Yeah, with that stupid architect at Dodger Stadium.
Mm-hmm. Joel Zumaya Guitar Hero final reference. Do you know?
I have heard about a player getting hurt playing guitar.
So there is this flamethrower reliever for the Tigers who made his mark by just having no answers for, or the Yankees had no answers for in 06.
Oh yeah.
And he then he suffered an injury allegedly from playing Guitar Hero.
I mean, have you seen some of those hard levels on Guitar Hero?
Through the fire.
Dude, that is. Oh my God, dude, it makes my wrist hurt just thinking about it.
Yeah, I guess, we are a little bit limited on time. I guess before we want to be able to talk about one other thing about football.
The New York Football Giants have made a lot of moves. Their roster looks different.
So different. But especially with people who have departed.
Saquon. I am not that broken up about Saquon and McKinney. I'm not broken up about Saquon leaving. I'm broken up about him going to the Eagles.
I'm broken up about him going to the Eagles. But also, in a vacuum, them leaving, we did a lot of losing with them.
Yeah, well, we did a lot. We did
a lot.
We won one playoff game.
Yeah, we can lose without them.
Yeah, that's
and also. But yeah, the Eagles. Why? Of all the teams, you don't have to stay in the division, man.
They threw the bag at him, dude.
I had to be the almost $15 million for 3 years, or $15 million a year for 3 years. No way the Giants were ever going to make that offer. There was no way. Yeah. But now the Giants have someone who will be able to get after the running game. And that is Brian Burns.
Oh, dude. When I saw that,
I couldn't believe
that. Those are the types of players you want to have on your team. Just a wrecking edge rusher.
Yeah.
Right there. I mean,
now you got Burns, you got Lawrence, and now you got Thibodeau. Who are you going to pick your poison? Pick your poison.
Dude, you got, and not to mention Azeez Ojulari coming off the bench. And I'm gonna introduce a little draft theory for you. Now the Giants at 6, they're in an awkward spot because all the players who I believe would end up moving the needle in a lot of ways are going to be gone.
They're just out of the window.
Like just out of there, which makes you really think about that little 3-week Tommy DeVito run. Like I knew those wins were going to be bad for us in the long run.
What have the Giants done about the offensive line? I think they've done some good.
They've done a lot about they signed 5 offensive linemen.
They signed John Runyon Jr., who is the son of former NFL tackle John Runyon.
Michael Strahan's son.
Yes.
John Runyon.
Michael Strahan.
Dude, Michael Strahan owned him for
he even tweeted about it, saying like, "Hey, I love that your son's on the Giants now."
Yeah.
He said that. And they signed Jermaine Oluenor from the Raiders, who had a good season last year. Who was reunited with they hired the Raiders offensive line coach to be their new offensive line coach. So they got him over. And I like how Jermaine Oluenor is like conducting himself as a Giant. He like loves being here now as soon as he signed. And now he can play both guard and tackle. I hope he plays tackle.
Yeah, I hope he plays
I hope they move Evan Neal to guard.
If they move Evan Neal to guard,
that could solve a lot of problems.
That's good. Dude, I wholeheartedly believe he'd be a very good guard.
Oh yeah, he's got the strength. He just does not have the footwork or the lateral movement to be a tackle now.
He doesn't. Like he's got. Also, I don't know if he really has the size. Although you can get bigger. Dude, just eat a lot. Just eat and lift. Dude, if you're an offensive lineman, you're on a 10-year-long bulk for your career. All you need to do is just eat and lift.
And build mass.
I go, muscle or fat, just mass.
But also, you still got to be light on your feet. Or you got to be still able to move.
Light enough on your feet.
Light enough on your feet. To be able to
and move. The good thing about being a guard, you don't have to be as agile, and that's Evan Neal's real problem. He would just get speed rushed, just straight up. Pass rushers would just run by him.
Yep. Consistently.
Because you have edge rushers in the NFL now who run 4.40s.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
Insane. They were made in labs.
Like, what?
They were from laboratories. That's where they're from.
I'm curious as to what LT's 40 time was. It was probably like 4.3 or just something just ridiculous.
It didn't register. That's how fast it was. They didn't have enough time to start the clock.
Yeah.
But I kind of like what they've done with the offensive line. And they also got Devin Singletary.
I really like what they've done. They signed, I saw an Instagram post, and it was the Giants signed 5 offensive linemen, all of them at different positions. They basically signed an entire offensive line, which is huge because remember last year, our major reason why we had offensive line issues was because
Injuries.
of our just shoestring depth.
Yes. Oh, and Isaiah Hodgins is back again.
That's a pretty good move.
Fine with
No
that.
solid red zone receiver come
Hopefully.
off the bench.
Yeah,
Good enough.
Hey, I'm a big Isaiah Hodgins guy, even though he had it down here this year. But I mean,
look at who his quarterbacks were.
I know. Now we got Drew Lock, which
I think Drew Lock has a lot of upside.
I think he does.
I want him starting. Like if this team is serious about winning this year, Drew Lock is your starter.
Are we gonna have a quarterback room of Daniel Jones, JJ McCarthy, Drew Lock, and Tommy DeVito? The whitest people. The white exotic whites.
Okay. Tommy DeVito. Okay, dude. Tommy DeVito. You can't say Tommy DeVito is not cultured, dude.
He might not be. He might be back on the practice squad though. They might not re-sign him on the active.
I want Tommy DeVito to just be a perpetual third stringer on this team.
Hey,
it's like keep signing him for like he'll do it. As what? What'll he do? What? Where's he gonna do? Just, like sign somewhere else? What? Buy his own place? No, he wants to stay here.
It's good. It's good. Hey, you're saving
also,
money.
it would be nice to just. Like, if the season goes down the drain, you have a nice meme to keep you entertained.
And
hey, and this is a huge sticking point. If both if first and second string quarterbacks go down, and Tommy DeVito is your third stringer, it's a huge selling point for owners. He'll put butts in the seats.
Yes. You know,
he sells tickets. And the tailgate, for the tailgate alone, I'd love to go to a Tommy DeVito, like a DeVito family tailgate. Have you seen the spread?
Have you seen?
Like, did you see the spread? This is how much of an impact Tommy DeVito has had on us. In March, we're still talking about those spreads. Like, I haven't eaten yet today, so like
I'm eating more chicken cutlets than I ever had in my life now because of Tommy DeVito.
Oh yeah, well, all I craved like for those 3 weeks was chicken parm, chicken cutlets, anything Italian.
And now also, this is a break away from the conversation. Like, I did mention a name that is not on the Giants, and JJ McCarthy.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to table that discussion.
Probably we have some thoughts about that.
Okay, back to my draft theory before we got sidetracked. If none of Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Marvin Harrison, or Malik Neighbors are on the board 6,
and that's very well possible.
I would like them to trade back.
Yes,
probably with Minnesota.
Yes,
get a couple picks. Imagine they take another edge rusher there.
Who is edge rusher would even be available?
I don't know, dude. The best one that you can take. The Giants did that a lot the Giants in the 2000s did that, like Ernie Accorsi. He drafted like 3 starting defensive lines, and you know how we won 2 Super Bowls? Having absurd amounts of depth. Well, Eli Manning too, but having absurd amounts of depth on the defensive line.
Oh,
like, our secondaries were not that good.
They were fine.
They were okay. I mean, Corey Webster. I will respect Corey Webster and Antrell. Antrell was more
with a Jerry Reese, I think, signing though. So maybe not
begrudgingly. I'll begrudgingly give Jerry Reese credit for that.
The 07 draft that he had was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like 5 of the 7 picks were starters on the Super Bowl team.
Yo, Jack just put R.W. McCorders.
McCord.
Yeah.
He has a W in his name.
Yeah, R.W. McCorders. Yeah, that one pick. Those guys just made plays.
They made plays. And I mean, I wouldn't mind taking Rome Odunze if they trade back too.
Yeah, I'd trade back if Rome Odunze is there. I'd take him. Well, they'd also probably get Minnesota's other first.
Hopefully. I mean, that's how I would hope.
And then they could probably take a.
Would you draft then like maybe Michael Penix if he's available?
No.
In the second
round?
round?
I'm not settling for a quarterback. This is the last time we settled for a quarterback. We settled for a quarterback. We ended up with Daniel Jones.
We also drafted him.
No, that is the one position
we settled for him.
Do not settle for, because if you settle on a quarterback
With
who
the
is
sixth overall
not
pick,
going to be great, that is going to set your franchise back 5 years, and you're going to be in the same exact position that we're in right now. Literally 5 years after Daniel Jones got taken.
Yep.
That's what happens when you settle for a quarterback just because he's a quarterback. No, I feel like the only acceptable way to get a quarterback in this day and age is to like build the roster. And if you're not bad enough to tank, you have to trade up.
Yep.
You have to trade up when you're confident enough in your roster, and then you give the young kid enough of a supportive environment to develop and grow into the player they can be.
But yeah, I guess one last thing about the Giants and Saquon Barkley. He's been he definitely reads all tweets and criticism.
Oh, he is being so petty.
He's being so
That
petty.
is what's bothering me.
That is what's bothering me too. Like, hey, he's gonna get booed when they first come back here mercilessly.
Dude, they're gonna throw snowballs at him if it's snowing.
If it's snowing. And I mean, I do have him in Philadelphia though. before us.
Yeah. Throw batteries.
I guess one thing to close off is, I guess, to review a little bit of the trade deadline.
I mean, in the NHL, I mean, Jake Allen's been pretty good for the Devils. For a few starts, just he came here 2 months too late. Like, that's the only conclusion I can come to about the Devils.
I mean,
getting Vanacek off the books.
Getting Vanacek off the books was huge for you guys.
Oh my god, yeah,
that was huge for you guys.
I mean, and you guys had a pretty solid deadline.
We had a pretty solid deadline.
You just stocked up the bottom six.
And defense.
Yeah, but that's basically the deadline you have when you have a team like the Rangers, who's pretty much
who
has the high end talent and the goaltending. You just,
for the role that they're having Alex Wenberg play, being like a shutdown center right now on the third line. They only get him for like a second and fourth round pick. I'm not going to complain.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, that's probably better than me overpaying for a first round pick for Adam Henrique.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly. Especially because Wenberg's playing super well in that role that they're having him play. And Jack Roslovic has so much speed. It is night and day difference from going from like, oh, Blake Wheeler, slow as can possibly be, to Jack Roslovic, who has like above average speed, maybe. I don't know. He may as well be Connor McDavid speed with the difference.
Yeah, you guys do not have that much speed. I think that is the one thing the Rangers do not have. Speed.
And
as you guys have horrible expected goal metrics at 5-on-5.
Oh yeah, because of Mika Zibanejad, who's been scoring. He's been starting to pick it up a bit. And honestly, I've been saying this. The biggest acquisition that the Rangers could get at the deadline is if Mika Zibanejad starts to score. That is the biggest acquisition they could possibly get.
That's an if. You use the I word there.
I know. That was the biggest acquisition they could ever get. Is again if Mika Zibanejad starts to score.
Mika March.
He's
it hasn't really been. I mean, it hasn't really been as.
I mean, he's scoring more than he's had in like the last most of the season. He's scoring more frequently.
But it's not like a proper Mika March, though. Like during Mika March, I'm looking on Twitter every night and I see Mika Zibanejad scoring 2 goals.
But yeah, he has picked up his offensive pace, though, comparatively speaking. On 5v5 also. And but you know who also keeps scoring? Artemi Panarin. I don't know
the camera angle is that you can see it now.
Okay, yeah, Artemi Panarin, 40 goals, 40 goals season for him in his career.
Wow, he already has 40.
He has 40. He had a hat trick last night against Boston,
dude.
And he has 98 points, career high. All right. Yeah, the first Ranger to have 40 goals and 50 assists in the season since 2006. Jaromir Jagr.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been that special of a season for Artemi Panarin. But you know, it won't mean much if he doesn't show up in the playoffs, and I think he will. He better.
Yeah, he better. That's like the emphasis on the he better.
He better.
Because the last 2 years he's been
the first time around it was like he was fine, but he could have probably got more. But he had his overtime goal, which
he had the overtime goal, which is worth like 5 goals on its own.
Yes, you can't take that. He won you the series by default on that. But the second
last year he
He
Oh, the
vanished
last year
He
the Rangers
vanished
were
like Kate Middleton.
the Rangers last year were a disheveled. Like
They were not a
mess.
team.
They were a disheveled mess.
As soon as they lost game 3. But enough about the old.
Yeah, enough about last year. As you know
But,
about both
yeah.
of our teams, a lot can change.
But yeah, they have a 2-point lead on the Hurricanes right now, and the Hurricanes play tonight. So if they win, they tie. But we would have a game at hand. They gotta
Yeah.
stay with the. I would like to win the division. I would like to win the division. And I guess what time is it now? We're almost done here. I wanted.
Right.
There were a few other things I want to talk about, but we are a bit strapped for time.
All right. So that will about do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those who did, we had a little bit better viewership numbers this time, so
yeah.
keep it coming. Hope all of you have a very nice weekend. Friday, the weather being a little weird, so as per usual, this time of year in this town, you don't know.
You don't know what
it was 75 like 3 days ago.
Yeah,
and now it's freezing.
And now it's like 30 degrees. It's like 35 degrees now. Northeast weather, everyone. And I hope JD Martinez stays hot for most of the season.
Yeah, good for you.
Though,
I got nothing against the Mets. All right. In all seriousness, we're gonna wrap it up now. So, anyways, from WIUR, from Luke Dolan, I am Cameron Woolley saying so long.
Take care.
Good night.
Or good afternoon, good night, whatever. Good. Have a good day, everyone.